is protesting, not just in the country, but across the world. What exactly are we seeing right now?
We are seeing America. America is frustrated, not just Black America, but all Americans. We're frustrated. We are saddened. We're disappointed. We're angry. We're emotional about the police brutality, the racism, the disproportionate killings of Black people by police officers. And now what we're seeing in America and all over the world, people are coming together to exude love and support.
As a psychiatrist, what are you concerned most about for our communities?
Well, we had the pandemic of COVID-19, and now we have the pandemic of racism. And so the concern for most of mental health professionals is that a lot of people are going to suffer traumas. They're going to suffer from things like acute stress disorder. We are watching all of this unfold on television. We're seeing it on social media. We are seeing people die, be killed, be murdered, and we're seeing all of the aggression and all of the rioting and the looting. These things are traumatic for people. So our concern is that people will endure certain types of anxiety, certain types of acute stress reaction where they may not be able to sleep. They may feel unsafe. They may feel paranoid. They may feel sadness, and the anger, the emotion, that can lead to other problems like elevated blood pressure.
It's hard because you heard from the beginning, if it's hard for you to see these videos or watch, you can take a break, but then you also don't want to take a break because that's what's pushing this movement forward.
And you're right about that. What happens is that sometimes to evoke change, people have to see that there is emotion, that people do have reactions and that they have opinions and that they're going to act on those opinions. In mental health, we always talk about thoughts, emotions, and how those things lead to behaviors. And so what's happening now is that people are tired and their emotions and their thoughts, these are evoking these behaviors. And that is what's propelling the movement forward so that everyone, not just in our country, but all over the world, everyone stands against the killings and the murder and the hatred and the racism.
And that's something you mentioned at the beginning, too. It's not just the Black community who seems to be speaking out right now. But what I see from a lot of white people is they're saying, how do I help? How do I get involved? Do you have advice on how they can speak out so they're not also diminishing the Black voices?
Absolutely. They can speak out by supporting, by donating to certain organizations that help bail out people who are peacefully protesting. They can donate to organizations like the NAACP. They can do things like talk to their friends of the minority, talk to people who are Black and just ask them about their experience, listen and receive and embrace the information. The biggest thing that people of the majority or white people can do is to talk to other people who are white or who are of the majority and just explain and express to them the things that they've learned too, because knowledge is power. And if we have an understanding of one another and an understanding of our timelines, then we can appreciate why the emotions and the reaction it's so intense. So educating yourselves and doing things like maybe taking classes like cultural sensitivity classes, but just being able to relate to your coworkers, your friends. And if you're a manager or a business owner, provide classes or provide a setting for your employees to have an open, honest discussion that you have moderated by professionals, someone who's a mental health professional or someone who is a specialist in cultural sensitivity.
Right, take the initiative to continue that conversation. How do you think that we move forward from here?
I believe love is a big part of this. I know that will sound silly to some, but love is what we need. You can't fight hate with hate. We have to be strategic, all of us, not just Black Americans, but everyone else as well. And we have to have empathy for one another. We also have to have a strategy, and that strategy includes educating one another on why voting is important. That includes voting at local levels as well, voting for our judges, voting for our state's attorneys, because all of these folks are a part of the justice system that seems to us to be so broken. We see injustices where there's supposed to be justice. So we move forward with love and education and understanding and respect.
Delvina, thank you for your insight today and for continuing this conversation here on Great Day Washington.
You're welcome. Thanks so much for having the mental health agenda.